I'd like to introduce Gavin Parbury out at Tanduangalo on a magnificent day on a beautiful property. Gavin, you've got nearly 200 odd acres under K-line irrigation here now?
Yeah, that's right, Pete.
And you've had it in for?
Nearly 3 years.
Right, and what's the big differences you've been noticing with the K-line?
Well, the biggest difference is the OH&S factor.
Right, okay.
It's a lot easier now to shift because it's not near as hard on your body.
Yeah.
Because with the old bike shift, you'd have to physically grab the sprinkler and move it. It's very hard on elbows.
A lot of sore shoulders around here.
And backs.
Yeah.
And the next biggest thing is they're only 45 yards apart, so there's only 6 shifts versus 10.
So you can fully water the place in just 6 days?
Yeah, 6 days, that's right. So if you do want to water it in 3 days, you can cover all your ground in 3 days, you just do 2 shifts.
Okay, that's amazing because it's what, 9 or 10 shifts with an ordinary bike shift?
It's really 10 shifts if you want to get the centre shifts with a bike shift.
So you never keep up with the water on the old bike shift?
No, it's like the 3 biggest things, OH&S and coverage with water.
Yeah.
You know,
and how quick it takes you,
and how quick the time will, you know, really with a bike shift you're looking at 30 hours a week.
Yes.
Versus 9 hours a week, 9 or 10 hours a week with K-line.
Fair income.
So that's.
So how long does it take you to shift the 200 acres?
Yeah, it takes around about an hour and a half.
Fair income.
Now.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
That's hard to imagine.
That's what. There's 2 sides here.
Yes.
So that means you start them back up, because they go overnight.
Yes.
Now, so you just start them back up, make sure everything's right.
Yeah.
Only takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they're right to go again that night on the cheap power.
Yeah, terrific.
So the irrigation, that's another big thing too.
And you can see them all going, and they're all. You can see whether any sprinklers aren't going or anything. So is maintenance an issue?
No, they're very good that way.
Are they?
Very simple.
Yeah. I know the bike shift is something like $100 a sprinkler head these days to replace. What are these?
Well, to replace the sprinkler head's only about $15.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So and you can just replace the top of them too for only $5 or something. Yeah.
If you had the old bike shift in the say an 8-acre paddock, or you had 8 turf valves.
Yes.
Whereas if you're doing a 8-acre paddock with these, you maybe only have 2.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
So I mean, you haven't got the turf valves getting run over.
Not all that infrastructure getting damaged.
Yeah. So that's another big saving.
And you've got the ball catcher as well, which is made locally.
Yeah, made locally. It does a fantastic job. Like I said, it's the catcher does all the work.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's no weight on your shoulder or anything,
The catcher and the bike do all the work now, so you haven't got the wear and tear on your own body, which is a huge factor.
So you're doing it in a fraction of the time to move the sprinklers. You do it yourself because you enjoy it, which is amazing. It's a huge labour saving. There's no OH&S issues on it, and you could get anybody to do it because it's so uniform in watering. Is that right? You don't need really skilled labour to do it.
No, it's very simple to do.
Yeah.
And actually, everyone really fights over who's going to do the irrigation now.
It's a pleasure
versus no one would ever do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like I said, with big savings in power. Power's going through the roof now.
Yeah. And being able to keep the grass growing rather than just green.
So another thing is too, it's only 6 shifts.
Yeah.
And if you want to put on 25 mil versus 75 mil, it's the same amount of work. You just let the pump go longer.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, you don't have to keep shifting all that extra time. Yeah. And just by looking at the watering pattern, it's such a soft watering system too. It puts the water on very evenly and soft.
The coverage, it's a nice, gentle way of watering.
Yeah.
And the coverage is just tremendous.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't have to put the amount of water on.
Yeah.
And you can get, if you want to, you can get around so quick.
You don't have to over-wet some places just to get others wet. Yeah.
So I mean, it's taking the weekends. You can
take the weekends off.
Yeah, instead of having to move irrigation of a weekend. Now you don't have to worry about it.
That's fantastic, Gavin. Thanks for your time here. That's terrific, mate.
No worries.
I'd like to introduce Trent Wilson. Trent's our irrigation guy at Bega Ag. He's a licensed plumber but got sick of working with the shovel, so he's now doing our irrigation work, pumps, plumbing, all the things that go with water at Bega Ag. So Trent, obviously there's some fantastic advantages to the K-line. We've seen from Gavin that the labour savings are incredible, the cost savings in the watering, the efficiency of the watering, the OH&S issues, it all looks really terrific. But how much is it going to cost?
Well, Peter, we can use a lot of the existing services on a paddock, especially if they've got bike shift irrigation already.
So we can reuse the main lines and things, yep.
We can reuse most of the infrastructure already there, and that means we can cut costs down to approximately $800 per acre for a 6-shift system.
$2,000 a hectare. That's pretty affordable compared to 6-set or pivots or anything like that. It's a pretty affordable upgrade.
Oh, and a near maintenance-free system as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. And if the guys are going to do it, if they're interested in pursuing it as an option and they wanted to know how much it was going to cost on their property, what would the next step be?
Oh, well, contact yourself or myself at Bega Agricultural Services, and we'll nip out with a GPS and mark all the infrastructure on the property, fence lines, pump sites, water source, and we can go about designing a system to suit everyone's own personal requirements.
We take that back to the office on the computer and drop a plan.
Design it right up, knock up a plan, and then meet the client again, and we'll find out how much exactly it will cost and what they want to do.
Fantastic. Thanks, Trent. Once we've captured all the GPS data in the field, we come back to the office and download the data into the computer, generate a map of the farm, the property, and overlay an irrigation design on top of it. We play around with that until we've optimised the design, and we can print off a hard copy of the design and use that to discuss with the customer. Once we're happy with the design, we can then go ahead and print a quote and fully quote the product, the design up, and include installation if required. And that's as simple as it is.